am a genius. My ancestors were geniuses. My ancestors made me a genius. And all that I think, say, and do, I must declare myself a genius.
The most potent weapon available to oppressed people as they struggle for freedom and justice is the weapon of nonviolence.
Whatever I'm myself, I practice my geniuses and do great things. All of my thoughts, traits, and deeds, I must declare myself a genius. I am a genius.
I stand here before you not as a prophet, but as a humble servant of you.
My decision must always be in the best interest of myself, my family, my people, and my God. Only then will I and everyone know that I am a genius. I am a genius.
My name is Mrs. Fannie Lou Hamer. I question America. Is this America, the land of the free and the home of the brave, where we have to sleep with our telephones off of the hook because our lives be threatened daily, because we want to live as decent human beings in America?
My genius must reflect my culture. My geniuses must make me be one and love and hard with myself. My geniuses must reflect my people.
You haven't done the right thing by my people. And because you haven't done the right thing by my people, now I got to do the right thing by you.
This year marks the 50th for Omoteco TV. Over the years, we've had different formats and different themes for our broadcasts. This year, we are offering as our theme, Omoteco TV Education for the Community. Hello, I'm your host, Kyle Livingston, and I'm here tonight with Omoteco Ramazima's videography instructor, Brother Ted Mangum. Welcome, Brother Mangum.
Thank you, Kyra.
Brother Mangum, why was it decided to identify our theme this year as Education for the Community?
Well, Kyra, I think it's only appropriate that Omoteco TV adopts education for the community as a theme. As you know from having watched Omoteco TV before now, we've always had a theme that goes along with our TV production. And this year, we are doing a different format. We're doing things that is more involving and inclusive of the community. We want to have education so that the community understands not only what goes on Omoteco's campus and with Omoteco TV, but also so that we can bring some of the events of the community to our Omoteco family. This year we had Sierra and Greg, some of your classmates in Omoteco TV, to go down and videotape the Phoenix Fest and bring that back as a part of the production. They also did the Black Panther Party production that talked about the origin of the Black Panther Party and its effective programs here in North Carolina. We have many such programs going on all the time around our community. And so this year we're making a conscious effort from the standpoint of format, involving more students and involving more events and activities in educating the community as to the very productive and positive things that are going on in our community all the time. So hence we have the theme, Omoteco TV Education for the Community. Hopefully our audience will understand that from week to week they can tune in to Omoteco TV and watch you guys bring them some very meaningful educational and informational projects.
What are some of the changes our viewers can be expecting this year?
Well, Kyra, I think some of the changes we've already alluded to, and that is we're sort of trying to change the format. Whereas before we had subjects that may last throughout the whole 30-minute production and guests who would last the whole 30-minute production. Now we're trying to do a magazine format. It's a lot more work on myself, Sister Nicole Brown Slaughter, and also Brother Jason Young, who both work with me with you. But I think it's worth it because it not only allows us to bring more information to our community and our viewers, but it also allows more of the students to participate. We have more hosts this year, and we have more subjects, and we have more students actively doing different projects. And so it's like a explosion of activities that you should be learning from all the time. And that's the underlining purpose of us doing Omateka TV in the first place, to get the students involved. And so it's just a bonus that we can bring more information to the students. So while it is a little more work, I think our viewership will be rewarded if they tune in and they can see more of the activities in the community, and they can see more educational projects that you people are doing, that our students are doing over here at Omateka Guamazima. And I think it also will allow us to dispel a lot of the myths, even though Omateka Guamazima has been in existence for 7 or 8 years as a charter school, and before that as a private school. There's a lot of misunderstanding about the school, and people try to create their own myths at times so that they won't have to support things. But I think that understanding that you and the students at Omateka are subject to the same types of academic requirements as anybody else in the school system in North Carolina, and yet you get even more of an understanding and education because you get to learn about your African heritage, and you get to learn about your people and the contribution, the truthful contribution of our people. So all of this information, hopefully by going to this new format, we'll get a chance to bring a lot of it to the community as well as the students there at Omateka TV.
How long have you been teaching children about video and TV production, and how successful has it been?
Well, I've been involved in teaching students and young people about TV and video production for going on 20 years now. I started in 1986 with a program called the Research, Education, and Literacy Assistance Program for Youth, which was Relay. And that program, we involved kids as young as 7 to 19 years old, and I was training them on all aspects, as you learn here, of video and TV production. And those students, initially we started in Greensboro, North Carolina, of which I'm proud to say one of your instructors, Nicole Brown Slaughter, was one of my students when she was 9 years old, so somewhat sitting in your spot. And she went on to work with Fox TV, UPN, and a number of other TV networks. She's currently shooting for Black Entertainment Sports, Black Entertainment Network. I'm not sure which one of those, but she shoots sports, football games, basketball games, and things of that nature. So she's been involved since that time with my earlier program, and they did the group she was with did over 400 TV shows. They had Michael Jordan on, they had Sinbad, they had Kid and Play, Harvey Gantt, Tom Brown, Tony Brown, just a whole host of dignitaries and celebrities and what have you. But more importantly, they learned a lot. I would venture to say 82% of those students went on to become engineers and doctors and very successful people. And that's the very important part about it. It's not about the TV cameras. It's not about the video productions or even being on TV. It's the fact that you learn so much about working together as a unit. You learn how to cooperate. You learn how to listen. You learn how to follow instruction. You learn how to do time management. You learn there's a time and a place for everything. And there's so much you learn in the process of doing a production that you take on throughout life, and you can't help but become successful. So yes, I've been actively involved, and I think there are probably hundreds of students and young people throughout North Carolina that have interacted with Relay and the programs that started in 1986, even today. And I get calls all the time. This week, I was in Greensboro, for instance, and I ran across a young man who was in my program back in 1992. Well, he actually came in 88, and he was had his own company doing T-shirts and a lot of other things. And he saw me and ran up and hugged me, and we talked. And he asked me what was I doing, and I told him about you young people here in Durham, in Omateka, Guamazima. And he got so enthused that I was continuing to share my knowledge and skills with you young people that he offered to do some Omateka TV t-shirts for you that hopefully we'll be able to show our audience in the near future. And so you get that kind of response. And by the way, his sister, who was involved with the program, is one of the top plastic surgeons now with Johns Hopkins Hospital up in Baltimore, Maryland. So you see, it's not about teaching you to become Oprah. It's about teaching, because we got a lot of entertainers, athletes, and singers and all that already. But it's about giving you the skills that you can become whoever you want to become. So I think that speaks very highly of the students that we've had involved over the 20 years that I've been doing relay programs.
You are a native of Raleigh and presently live in Greensboro. Why do you teach in Durham at Omateka?
Yeah, true. I'm a native, grew up and was born and grew up in Raleigh, North Carolina, and went to school in Greensboro after a little short tour of service in Vietnam, and came back and went to A&T, North Carolina A&T. I thought it was important because, one, I had done the program initially in Greensboro with a lot of success with the students, but the community support was waning, and you can't, I don't have a definition for why our people show so little support for programs that could offer so much and do offer so much. But by the same token, Sister Wright, I met her in 1994, and she was talking about her vision for creating a school, an African-centered school, where our young people could feel safe to come and learn about their heritage, and where they could come and with the parents participating, where they could join together as families and make this school grow, and people be more interested in learning than all the things that go on in the regular public school setting. And that drew my interest, and I said, you know, there's nothing that I enjoy doing more than teaching young people who want to learn. And this seemed like a natural environment to merge my efforts with, because I've never been one that needed to be out front and have my own particular program or anything or get my name in lights. So I said, well, if you open the school, I'll be glad to bring the relay program and merge efforts and within the structure of a school setting. And she did. She called me in 1998. Excuse me. She actually emailed me and told me that the school was about to open, that it had opened as a private school, and we discussed making it a charter school. We were able to successfully get that done. And I bought the program with some modifications to Omateka, Guamazima. And the fact that she's so dedicated, and the teachers and the people that come to Omateka are so dedicated to make sure that this works. There's no question that if we had done both relay and Omateka back in the 60s and 70s, when our people were hungry, they were hungry for knowledge, they were hungry to do things for themselves and to not rely on or beg folks to do things, Omateka would probably take up half of Durham and also the relay program. But in this generation and this age of I guess, miseducation of our people, we've gone backward, such that the efforts that Sister Wright has with Omateka, Guamazima, and that I've exerted with relay, they go largely unnoticed, and that's okay as long as we have the students who benefit from it. And so when she extended that offer to me, it wasn't a matter of geography. I've always maintained that we as black people are on the same plantation, different locations anyway. So it doesn't matter if I'm in Raleigh, or I'm in Greensboro, or I'm in New York, or I'm in Michigan, or I'm in Atlanta, or I'm anywhere, because the conditions of me as a people are going to be virtually the same. So I enjoy working with the young people I work with. I try to impact upon them that if they listen, there are 4 basic ways of learning: listening, they can read, they can observe, or as old folks say, learn through experience, and that's the hardest way. So we try to get our young people to do the first three first, to listen, to read, and to observe. And then so far at Omateka, I've found students that were receptive to that, and I've enjoyed my experience there.
What future projects can our community be expecting from Omateka Gwamuzima's advanced videography crew?
Well, we're going to make a conscious effort to try to get involved with the business community in Durham, both from a support standpoint and also from the standpoint of letting you young people see the effort and the dedication and what is required for 10 years from now, 20 years from now, when you're out and a young lady looking to create your own business. What do I need to do to create my own business, to be in business for myself, rather than go out and try to get a job just to maintain? There's nothing wrong with that, but you also have the ability to create your own future and to be in control of your own destiny, and that is sometimes called entrepreneurship. We are trying to get involved with some of those businesses and have the students go out and interview those business people, and also have them on the show and to share with each other. So we'll be leaning heavily upon that aspect of bringing Omateka TV into the living rooms of our viewers, and also onto our campuses at 910 Cook Road.
What would you like our audience and community to know about supporting our efforts at Omateka TV?
Excuse me. I would like to say to the audience in our community, we hear quite a bit from years past, oh, I saw that show on